Hey, help them. Oh, I was going to say help them. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of our New Jack Swing podcast as we deep dive into the boys' third album, The Saga Continues. This was an album recommended by our dear Mr. Andrew Knight, and one that I definitely had an immense joy listening to as well. But so we're going to get into that and really appreciate the album. But it's always great to introduce VJ, Stevie, and Andrew. VJ, how's it going?
Good. I've since the last podcast, I've been to some festivals. I think I've mentioned them. There was one called Boogie Town, which is in Apps Court in Surrey. I saw Jazzy B do a live set. Soul to Soul did a performance. I was only there for a few hours, so didn't get to see much else. Alison Limerick, Where Love Lives. She's quite popular after her recent advert. What was that advert? Was it Sainsbury's or something? One of those supermarkets, anyway. And then last weekend was it was Lauryn Hill and Wyclef Jean, an event called Diaspora Calling. That was an interesting one. They came on very late, so UK rules are what they are. After 11 o'clock they have to shut up shop. So I think the artists were very upset, but they started at 10:02.
What?
And it was a shame because I think if they'd started an hour before that, it would have been mind blowing. I mean, there was a highlight there.
But what happened at 9 o'clock? Was there any?
So there was Erykah Badu, and there were other artists performing. Fireboy. I don't know many of these artists.
Fireboy from Nigeria, yeah.
More Stevie's area of expertise. I'm saying Fireboy, and Stevie's probably thinking, I never thought I'd hear VJ say the words Fireboy in the sentence.
Oh, you got it right, mate. You got it right, but
that's it. And thank you very much. And Giggs and Kano.
Kano, yeah.
That was interesting. But yeah, they came late, and I think there was an hour gap where they didn't have to come on so late. I don't know what was going on. There may have been reasons, but starting at 10:02 and thinking you've got to be able to perform an hour and a half, 2 hour set, it was never going to happen.
No.
And that was that. And the next day there was something called Electric Paradise, and the lineup was Grace Jones, Shalimar, Earth, Wind and Fire, Al Mackey Experience. We saw Armand Van Helden's set. We were right front row, and he played all the songs from the 90s, so it was amazing.
Okay.
It was very nostalgic.
Grace Jones.
I saw a bit of Grace Jones. Yeah, we saw a bit of Grace Jones, or heard a bit of her anyway.
I saw her in New York. That was an amazing performance. It was a dedicated concert, and she hula hooped during her whole performance of Slave to the Rhythm the whole time. It never dropped. Woman's like 70 plus. Like, she is not a spring chicken, but her body is just... Anyway, she's a legend, and there was no way I was going to miss her in concert. It was one of my favorite memories of my last year in New York.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yes. Okay.
That's it. A few shows here and there, and yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Just a few shows here and there. I mean,
any more events? But it's the summer, isn't it? It's the summer festival. And in my defense, Stevie, you were invited to all three of them. I invited you to all three of them. You could have come to all of them if you wanted. But
Okay.
Next year, you have to come to some of these. But no, all good, man. All good.
Stevie, how's it going? I mean, as we get ready for the boys this evening.
Mate, I've been doing it with the B. Doing it with the B. Smooth and easy. Oh, yeah. I can't compete with what VJ's just said. I've just discovered the joys of doing 10,000 steps a day. You're like walking for about an hour and a half. That's been my last few weeks, try to get myself in some sort of shape for this trip to Vegas, because I know there's going to be an 8-hour time difference. 110 degrees it is in August. So I need to get myself ready. But I'm going in a few dusty record shops as well. You know what I mean? For the old vinyl community out there. You know what I mean? I'm just a random guy, guys. Just a random guy going around record shops. That's what I am, guys. Just for you guys out there. Well, yeah, that's been my week.
Okay. And how about you, Andrew?
Man, so this is the last time you will see me on this podcast as a single man,
As a bachelor.
as a bachelor, which is kind of funny because The Bachelor almost happened for this show. But anyway, so this is like a big deal. I'm right there with you, Stevie. I've been working out, like doing my walks, like slimming down just so I can like wear the suit like properly. And actually, putting together the playlists for both our welcome night, which is Saturday, and then the playlist for the DJ. We just got confirmation that a guest DJ will be able to come in and do a 30-minute set as well. Got some Afro beats in there, like Arya Starr. I don't know her, but
Wow.
wow. But like that's gonna be in the mix for the welcome night. So I'm telling you, like we're not just saying this because it's us, but we really want this to be the party of the mother effing year, decade, century. We want to burn an amazing memory into your cerebrums, and I cannot thank you guys both enough for taking some time out of your busy lives to come celebrate with us. So that's what's up with me. So I'm in good spirits, man.
Okay.
Good. Sounds good. That sounds amazing. That sounds like a great party. And Stevie, that's amazing. 10,000 steps. That's not a small thing. Well done, man. That's wicked.
Yeah, definitely. So
Dude,
I mean,
it's been hurting me. It's been hurting me, guys.
Okay.
Andy, how you been?
When you hit the wall, you think you're steaming ahead, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh, what's going on? I can't. Oh, dearie me.
Yeah. So I've definitely been good, and as I said, I'm looking forward to celebrating Donnell and Joe this week. Because I think there's been very disrespectful comments and videos and stuff, and it's so we're in an era where we were like saying there was a lack of R&B, lack of representation, and all of a sudden you get two R&B acts who between them have over 100 R&B songs, and so I'm looking forward to that. But tonight, let us talk about The Boys. I must admit that I didn't know about this album when it came out. At the time when it came out, I was in it came out in April of '92, so no, I hadn't yet moved to the US. I hadn't yet moved to the US, but I didn't know, it wasn't on BET as much as I thought, and so I hadn't really heard any of the songs until the album. I got the album, and I was definitely impressed by the fact that um, they were able to try and keep up with the times with the production, and but they still kept the familiarity of their vocals. Bilal singing and with Hakeem, and you can then still see, yeah, these are the boys, but then they were progressing musically, and then to find out that Hakeem did most of the production. He must have been, how old would you think he was? 15, 14?
Young man.
Maybe 16, but yeah.
that doesn't make sense. I mean, that doesn't make sense.
But that's the frustrating thing, man. Somebody is that talented at that age. Come on, man. Like he should have been. We should still be talking about him. He should still be that guy that we talk about. He should be on the top of our lips, creating music right now, because that age, that's crazy, man.
What did you? Okay, I'll start with you, Andrew, because you recommended the album. When did you know? Did you hear about the album when it came out?
1,000%. Like it was like, so I was a Boys fan, basically from the jump. So it's personal because when I first saw that video for Dawn My Heart, it reminded me of me and my brothers. So Kyrie was my oldest brother, Michael. He's tall, lighter skinned, peanut butter complected. I was like a combination of Hakeem and Taj, the middle kids. And then my younger brother was Bilal. So we just totally just like, it was just through that New Jack era, 88 to 92. That was also the Boys era, if you will. Crazy comes out. That's probably when they're at their biggest. So they had that parody video. We just followed their career. By 92, I was in a group called the Realistics, and we'd always play the Boys album. He had the CD. We'd drive to the studio, and blast that CD from start to finish. So it will always remind me of being in a group. And I just loved even the way we dressed with like the rayon patterned shirts, black jean shorts. Like that's what they wore in the video. Like it was a really personal connection. So I just remember loving the album, thinking it was going to do big things, but then hearing the shift in music and then wondering why did nothing really happen after The Saga Must Continue, because that video did drop and that was it. We heard nothing ever again. And I was just like, what? So I loved it. And the flowers are going to be given by me on this podcast. The passion for this album is, I already have my number. I thought of all this stuff. I have a whole plan of what I'm going to say on this podcast.
They had 3 videos. Did you know that?
I'm looking at now, doing it with the B and Tonight. Neither of those I would have selected for singles, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah. Stevie, what about you? When did you know? Did you know about the album when it came out?
Yeah, I thought to myself that I didn't play it at the time, and actually, when I did finally dig my CD off the shelves, you can see a little sticker there. So back when I bought it, I actually wrote down 6 tracks that I'd be play a lot from it. So I did play it back then. But I mean, the Boys itself, between 88 and 92, 3 albums. They got the story's incredible. This, and you got to thank the dad. You got to thank the dad as well, who was managing them, because
Jabari,
they were able to get all these writing and production credits. Right. And Motown at one point were getting a bit, they're getting a bit upset with them because they were making money elsewhere. And then when they finally dropped this album, they offered them something like another 6-album deal. It said. They were saying a 6-album, give them their own label imprint. They wanted to give them a load of money, and they went, "Nah, we're off to Gambia. We're off to Gambia, and that's it, guys. We ain't doing this music anymore." It's like, what? What are you doing? But they like most groups after 3 albums, they've had enough, and maybe they just had enough. I don't know. They've seen the industry for what it is, but as an album, I don't know. When I dug it out the shelves and played it a few weeks ago, I was like, damn, this is a mess. This album's an apps. It's like, I'm thinking, how can I get through an album with kids singing? It's like, you must have all been through this experience now, where you've come through a bunch of teenage boys between like 13 and 16, 17, and they're not adults yet. They're not men, and they're acting hard. They're giving it the 10 men. You know what I mean? It's like they are doing on this album on some of the lyrics, and they might be acting hard in front of girls and try to embarrass you as a man, but you just turn around and say to them, "Look, lads, you've not gone through puberty yet. Come back to me and act hard when you've gone through puberty." And this is how it feels, this album, to me. It's like, you've not quite gone through puberty yet. And, you're giving it the bigging on some of the raps and some of the things. But on a second listen, I thought, nah, you know what I mean? It's got some really good tracks on it. It's got some really, really good tracks on it. I think the up-tempos, the production's fantastic throughout the whole of the album. You can't fault the production. It's just whether you can handle the kiddie vocals, some of the lyrics, and some of the singing, which is it can be hard going at times, I'll be honest.
Okay, let's look, just before I get VJ in there. Kyrie was born November 10th, 1973. So Kyrie's 53. I think he's older than Usher. Hakeem was born March of 75. I think he's also older than Usher. So when we're talking about the voices and stuff, Taj was born 76 and Bilal was born in 79. So when we think about their ages, think about how old we are, think about the fact that these guys were in and around our age when they were doing this stuff. It's just the fact that they were on TV and we were in school. And the fact that, so that's, I think, as I said, because they came out young and they had a hit song that really endured with us when they were young, it's easy just to keep them in that bubble of being little kids. But they were our age, Veej, what about you? Did you know about the album when it came out?
I did.
Usher 78.
I didn't know. I knew about the songs off the previous albums, but I didn't know them that well. When this came out, my frontal lobe was fully formed, and I knew that this was something I needed to mess with, because the saga must continue. I used to hear a lot on the box. I used to see it on the box. I never had the box, but my uncle lived next door. He had the box. I was around his all the time.
The box.
Just to see what was happening on the box. So those videos were important. And the saga must continue seemed to be selected an awful lot on that show. Whether it was the record company paying for those that to appear so much, I saw that video a lot. So that was the introduction. I had to get the album as soon as I could. I had the single at the time. I loved it because the production was very, very tight. And Stevie, you've touched upon it already. I agree. It's challenging sometimes to listen to younger people's vocals. And that sounds incredibly ageist, I'm sure. But production-wise, I could appreciate it all day long. Vocally, it wasn't for me. And I'm sure we'll get into that when we talk about this podcast.
I also think if you look at what Dalla and Biv, what they were doing with ABC, I think that influenced this album as well. Another back, that production and that you can hear it on the album. It's like a bit of competition going in there. They wanted that sound. The boys, they couldn't come out with more Down My Heart again, could they? Really, like that real bubblegum sound. They had to, I suppose they. But it's like, it's hard going when you're hearing teenagers saying like, to girls that I want to do you. And it's like, come on, you know what I mean?
I agree.
Have a crush on your school teacher. You know what I mean? But come on, guys, you know what I mean? You're still, okay. You're not quite there yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a little weird. I'll admit that. Now, the second album with Crazy and this thing called Love and a couple of others, like I think it's like a journey. And I think one of the things that may have hurt the boys was Another Bad Creation and Crisscross came out. 91 ABC, Crisscross 92. And I think a lot of times in the music industry, there's only really room for one, maybe two. But then once like it gets kind of cluttered, then people get kind of pushed off to the side. So between what you guys are talking about with a mismatch with the lyrics and then the voices, and then the fact that we already were kiddied out with ABC and Crisscross, maybe that's what impacted it as well. But, again, I could say so much about particularly the second and third albums, because those are the best ones. The first album had a lot of hits, Lucky Charm, Got My Heart, Little Romance, but I can't really listen to that first album from start to finish. It's like, that's too bubblegum for me. Mm-hmm. But anyway, just wanted to come up from the rear and be like, we still have your back though on this podcast. We're not going to completely the vocals. I thought the vocals were dope, but anyway, we'll get into it.
It's long overdue though. It's good that we're doing this on them.
Yeah,
it really is. It's kind of long overdue.
I mean, yeah. Before we, I did ask. I tried to reach out to Hakeem to see if he can come on and stuff, and hopefully, because I sent them the live stream link, so hopefully Hakeem, Bilal, and Taj there were watching and may chat with us. But Stevie, you did ask him a question. How did you develop your own unique New Jack Swing sound that was prevalent not only on this Boys album, but also for artists like Colin England, Shanice, and Tevin Campbell? And this is what he had to say.
Question 1. How did I develop my own New Jack Swing sound? Well, 2 things. One, being a huge fan of Teddy Riley. So I wasn't trying to create my own sound. I was trying to have the exact same sound as Teddy, right? And to get as close to it as possible while still being creative. And then number 2, my father, when he bought my first Akai MPC 60, after making me read the whole manual from front to back, he told me, copy your favorite songs exactly. Try to make an exact replica of your favorite songs. And I think the first one I tried to make was My Prerogative, Bobby Brown, Teddy Riley production. So that, going through that process taught me how to make these beats, and I kept getting better and better. And my father once wanted to learn how to sew, to make his own clothes. So he asked a tailor that used to do his clothes, he asked him, please, can I learn from you? And the tailor said, you can come watch me work, but you can't ask any questions. You can't say anything. So my father just would go and just watch him work. Then he would go home and try to copy what he saw. So that's pretty much the same thing he passed on to me. Listen, see what you hear, then go to your equipment and try to do the same thing. And by doing that over months and months, tracks and tracks and tracks, before you know it, I had some hot stuff. And this is at the age of from 13 on.
What do you make of that?
Wow. I'm impressed. Very impressed.
Wow, very cool, man. That's amazing. And I think you could see it as well, like in his production sound, that he had some considerable influence by Teddy Riley, and he even mentions they even reference Teddy Riley on one of the songs. I'm sure Andrew can just tell us off the top of his head right now which one that is, but
Apple juice.
Apple juice. I couldn't do that, so
Crack the 40 ounce of apple juice. Crack the 40 ounce. Apple juice. Apple juice. I give props to Teddy Riley. So yeah, it's all there. Totally.
There you go. But you could see that influence, and I think that's incredible that he pointed that out, because that was his influence. It is what it was, and yeah, very interesting, and a great question, Stevie. Really good question, man.
Yeah, what did you make of it, Andrew? Hearing him talk.
I mean, I love it. It's just kind of cool to hear somebody who, again, played a pretty significant role in my musical life experience to just kind of break down what he did. And what I'm hoping by the end of this podcast, I think one of the most gratifying things anybody who is creative can ever experience is learning how their work affected someone's life, So that's hopefully what I think he gets out of this at the end. Let's give back. You gave some energy. Let's give you some energy back so that what you did many, many, many years later and had no idea. So yeah, man, I loved it.
So VJ, you asked the question is why did he stop making music for such a long period of time? He seems to have such a great sound, and it felt like if he stopped, he just as he was getting started and really finding his own good groove. So this is his answer to your question.
Question 2, why did I stop making music for such a long time? No, I never stopped making music because music is a passion, is a love, and so it has become a lifestyle for me. Whether I have music out commercially or not, I believe I'll always make music because it's kind of like a lifeblood for me, right? Creativity. But the world stopped hearing music from me because the industry, became a little difficult to navigate. I remember there was a time when music started changing and I would send out music to different record labels. And I remember them sending the music back to me saying, no, we don't like this. We don't need this, try again. And so it became a situation to where I felt like they either wanted me to adapt my sound to whatever the new trend was, or, no work. I remember when the label gave us our own label, right? I did my own solo album, and when I brought it to the record executive, he said, no, this is too... It's like conscious music, positive messages. No. You've been smoking too much marijuana. I think we need something more like Snoop Doggy Dogg. We need something like singing about sex, singing about, drugs. What happened to that other song you had? Upstairs, downstairs, do it on the floor. Remember that one? Where's that one? And as the executive was talking to me in that meeting, my eyes just started to well up with tears, Like, I felt bad. And these are some of the things that gave me the feeling like, yo, if I can survive in Africa, later for these cats. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. When I came to Africa, it's like my plan was to never come back, actually. And we started doing music for Africans. I had to learn reggae music from scratch because that's what Gambia was resonating with more at the time. So I started making reggae. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about money. We used to let the artists give whatever they could. Like, we charge them $15, $30. And if they didn't have it, it's like, whatever you have, just put it in that bowl right there. Because it wasn't about money. But eventually, we took over the whole country. And even the neighboring countries, like Senegal, they would come to Gambia, hear every song on the radio produced by us. Next thing you know, they start flying us over to Senegal. Next thing you know, we start producing for Sierra Leone. Next thing you know, we in Ghana. Then we in Nigeria. And so on and so on. Cameroon, Chad, Tanzania. It just, kept spreading. So that's why you didn't hear from me. But I was still making music, mostly in Africa.
What do you think?
Incredible. That is incredible. Incredible response.
Insane. I think there was he did some stuff with New Kids on the Block around 2008. Click, Click, Click is a tune, man. I mean, it is a tune, and I think he has it. He has that. He has it. And whether he's producing music in America, Africa, wherever he is, I just think he should be making more music. And it's a shame. It's a shame that he was pigeonholed into making a specific sound. And I think some DJ All Days commented there about who that executive may well be. I don't know. I've never heard that before. Fascinating, but it's a shame, man.
Andrew, what did you think?
I think it demonstrates a lot of integrity, that he would not want to make music that wasn't aligned with what his heart and soul wanted to do. That's number one. And it's depressing because I definitely noticed that by 92, one of the reasons why I even cleaved the New Jack era so much was I do think that there were more positive messages in that time frame than by the time he got to 93, 94, 95 and gangster rap took over. And then R&B was trying to keep up with the gangster rap with its vulgarity. So love hearing him name drop Ghana. What up? But love hearing him name West Africa in general. It's just super helpful because for us, there was no internet back then. So when he left, it was just like, where'd they go? And I think that he may have been he was ahead of his time because right now that Afro beat coming from West Africa is kind of like killing it right now. And he was there in the beginning, probably influencing a lot of those artists who probably watched him in concert. So I love what he just shared. And I'm glad he took the time to answer.
Yeah, Stevie.
Yeah, just it made me realise how ahead of his time he was by going up, like you say, going over to West Africa. And I'd say anybody, we're all here because we like New Jack Swing. You know, the viewers and that. If you've, you know, with New Jack Swing, you've got, you know, you can't have New Jack Swing without James Brown, George Clinton, funk. But I realised in the 90s when I was introduced, when a DJ friend told me, you know, check out some of this Fela Kuti stuff. And then when I fully got into Afrobeat, I'd say to you all, if you've not checked out Afrobeat, High Life, West African music, all goes back to that. You know, it's the final discovery of what, you know, New Jack Swing is for me. So, and he was on it, like you say, Andrew, he was on it back then, and he's gone over there inadvertently with him traveling, you know, doing stuff for different artists in different countries. He probably got the ball rolling for what is modern day
1000%.
Afrobeats now. He's,
Yes.
you know, he'd been in the mix with a lot of the original, you know, Afrobeat artists that you know spun around the early 2000s as well. It's very fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
But if you hear what he said, though, they were like, go do stuff like Snoop. So it's not just gin and juice, but it was, you know, the cursing of the women. I mean, he was 12. He was what, 15?
Namdi, what he was saying about his solo album there. He's basically telling us he had the Daisy Age kind of rap album there in the bag. He could have come out with De La Soul and Tribe Called Quest. It would have been right R&B.
Yeah.
I can imagine it now. You know what I mean? If one of those labels had just took the risk.
Well, they had to deal with Motown. Andre was when Andre left and did the Uptown to Motown, and maybe he was thinking, looking at what Bad Boy was doing, and thinking, yeah, we need to move you into that direction.
You know what? In fact, right, with oh gosh, my light bulb's gone off here. You think of Marvin Gaye and Motown in the early 70s with what's going on. He could have, you know, for me, Motown's last great period was late 80s, early 90s. I know what was, you know, Andre took over, but not much happened hit wise. But that period produced a lot of hits. He could have another Marvin Gaye. What's going on in the can there?
Yeah.
We don't even know. And Motown had just missed the boat completely.
BJ, I knew you were trying to come in.
Absolutely fascinating.
I think what you've all touched upon it a little, but Andrew, you mentioned integrity, and I think that is the key takeaway here, because I don't know why when you said that, the person that came to mind was Dave Chappelle when he quit the
and moved to Africa. Yeah,
and he did move to Africa, but I think the reasons why they've both done that is because the boys have done that and Dave did that is because they didn't want to be pigeonholed and say, you know, dictated to say you have to do things this way. And that's an amazing thing. And I don't think most people can do that. Like if you're given a checkbook to say, here you go, how much money do you want? Sell your soul. Most people would say, where do I sign? Right?
Yeah.
But the fact that they've done this, it's incredible. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's so nice to hear.
I mean, we talk, you know, the artists would come on and talk about the dark side of the music industry, and they don't name names because they still need to make a living. But they will tell you that it you know, that you almost have to sell your soul to make it. They're telling him, this young kid, yeah, we don't, yeah, what is this? Are you smoking weed? Come on, give us some more of this grant. And then now you're writing out of a place that is not you, and they're molding you into something that you're not. I used to always remember watching people like Britney and all these people. They come out with their first album, and then you just need to see Christina Aguilera, how they transform, especially the women, how they change, how they become more sexualized, and it was a very straight pattern. They were doing that for the men. And I remember Darnell saying the same thing about the industry deliberately stopped pushing R&B, singing love songs and You're the Woman of My Life and stuff, and wanted to start to denigrate the women. That had an impact on just how we saw women in the community. Look at how the 70s we used to lift up the black race and talk about the family. You get into the 90s, and you know, after the whole death row stuff, and they were pumping money into them and cash money. But what kind of music was being brought out, and what kind of female rappers are being pushed out, and how does that have an impact? And so they wanted Hakeem to do that, and he walked away. Most people didn't walk away because, as Stevie says, the money was just too hard to resist.
And one point, I know you got Andrew's thing to come still, but I was going to say, when I mean, they were young when they recorded these first three albums, and I think, like, if you think of Usher's first album, and then when the second album came out, Usher's voice had changed, and I've heard the boys' vocals since. I wish they'd recorded music, man, with when their voices had broken, because I know they can sing. I know they're talented, so it wasn't that. So, yeah, I just think it's a missed opportunity, and it's a version of reality that we never got to witness, and I think that's a real travesty.
Yeah. Okay. So this was a question that Andrew had. Andrew had a long one, and he said, when looking back at the album, his question was why Motown didn't push it harder, especially since they had so many potential hits like "Happiness," "I'm Yours," and "Thought You Knew." And on top of that, you mentioned that the cassette version left out key tracks such as the full version of Hack's House of Paradise or Pleasure, sorry, which Claire that had the Careless Whisper influence and was dope, and Be Your Man likely due to the high length but removal. Okay. And the second question you had was something about okay, was there this on one of the songs? So anyway, I will let Hakeem answer this.
Question 3: why didn't the record company push the last album enough? Well, to me, I never felt that way, like they didn't push it. I remember they said they were going to spend $1 million on promotion. I thought that was a lot, and maybe they did. I mean, I was young, so I wasn't there like checking all their books and auditing them and all of that stuff. But they made efforts, and I actually don't remember how well it did. But I was just happy that we got to express ourselves creatively, do what we wanted to do, Hawk's House of Pleasure, that just shows like the creativity, being able to free up, I don't think you would ever see a young group like that making a song like that, or even young people producing their own music. It was a first. So, yeah, I say it was a blessing to be free enough to just say, look, we could do whatever we want to do. And sometimes that's not the best idea, Maybe the best idea for business sake would be to let Babyface in LA produce at least half the album. You know what I'm saying? Maybe call Teddy Riley. Maybe that would have made a big difference, because we're still newbie songwriters and producers at that point. So yeah, the second album was a lot of fun, but the job just wasn't done. No, that wasn't any low-key diss or anything like that. It was just wordplay, And that's the truth. We still had more work to do, more creativity to get out, more fun to have, and more growth. Because you could see, like, we changed. Our personality kept changing every album because we were growing. I think that was cool, Maybe some people who are focused more on business would try to guide us and say, no, be like this, be like that. That's what's normal in the industry. They try to guide you towards what makes sense business-wise. And creativity is not the priority. But we were able to free up, have fun, And still to this day, you know, a lot of people say, wow, that was an amazing production. I remember Teddy Riley picked me up, was like, yo, album is crazy. You know, you just need to work on the mixing. You need a good mix engineer. So, you know, even greats like Teddy Riley was given flowers, you know, way back then. And I think that's one of the great parts about it, that we were able to inspire others. They could see that, yo, these are pretty much kids doing the job of grown men. So if they could do it, we can do it too. One love. Thanks for having me. I'm sure I'll be on again on the next episode. Blessings.
Andrew, what do you think?
Wow. I think it was a trip to hear him say the second album was a lot of fun. Like, that was like, man, he answered every question. And it's crazy to me because because LA and Face were big on their first two albums. So I almost felt like, was that low-key diss to Face? And nah, it was just wordplay. Cool. You have no idea how much that means to me, because like that second album is a journey from start to finish. Actually, this is too much information, but when I'm putting tools together and it's boring, I just want to like, or putting furniture together, I actually play that album from start to finish while I'm putting the screwdrivers. Anyways, too much. Anyway, no, I loved that answer. And, you know, I'm just glad that, you know, it's cool. It's cool that Motown did put money into it. There was a mismatch, I guess, between the songs and the audience, but or at least it wasn't any like weird industry politics. That's good to hear. And at the end of the day, it sounds like he's happy and at peace, and they're happy and at peace. Their priority was always clearly just being creative and getting to express themselves. And they absolutely expressed themselves on this album. So, you know, I'm just glad that he heard me out and answered all the questions, man. I'm like, blessings. Thank you.
Vijay, did anything stand out for you with his answer?
No, I think he's a very humble man, and that's nice and it's sweet. But then he's not just some random person. Like, he's saying that. What did he say? Teddy Riley, a pioneer or something?
In total, to make sure you get a good engineer to mix it and all these things. He got Dave Wade to mix it.
So he's saying Teddy Riley is like a great like Teddy Riley. But Hakeem, I'm sorry, sir, but you are a great too. And I think if you had the opportunity to have carried on with your talent, there's no doubt in my mind that you would have been as prominent a name as the name that you mentioned there. And I get it, but he's just being humble. He's too humble, man. Think about this. How old was Hakeem when he did that second album? Just think about that. That is just crazy. Because, like, Namdi, you've heard this album relatively recently. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, within the last 3 weeks, yeah. So it shocks me that forget Hakeem's House of Pleasure. I mean, the fact that he's the main producer and he was 12, he was 13. Wait, let me see. Yeah, well, yeah.
He would have been like 16, 17. But either way, that was just a year older than me. And I was a sophomore in high school. What?
Yeah, I mean...
and then a year later, he does that. Someone else mentioned it. That Two Can Play That Game, which starts off the remixes in the key of B, Bobby Brown album, which is a dope mix.
Oh, it's incredible.
But that mix right there, it's like he kills it. I think I actually kind of prefer that one to the original, but that's just me. But anyway, he was 92, 93. Hawk was on another level.
Yeah, and other songs. I mean, he did the remix for Tevin Campbell, Goodbye. Come on, son. It just different planet, and like, he's just humble. That's it. That's my takeaway from that last bit. I just think he's very humble man. And sometimes it's good to be humble, but sometimes it's good to just say, I'm the man, because he is the man. And I think, I mean, if he can't acknowledge it, we'll acknowledge it for him, because
Yeah, but I guess it's the he's talked so much about the industry as it was and as it is, and how it almost got him to move away, and how it affected the dynamics of the group. I'm sure they, if Motown up to that album were great, but by the time they're pushing it, new management comes in and have a very different direction as to what they're trying to do. And so DJ All Day says that most of these artists by 94, 95, they got rid of those 80s artists that, like, yeah, we're going in a very different direction. Yeah. I think the one thing I would say, I mean, I hope you guys don't mind the fact that I kind of saved it for you to hear it like this, because
That's great. It's great, Nando.
thank you. Thank you for doing it this way. You've done it the right way, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah. One thing I got when I listened to the album, I feel that they love each other. It's and people will take for granted. Oh yeah, they're four brothers. I was like, I felt like these. I've got three younger brothers. I felt like they love each other. It didn't feel like rivalry or jealousy. It felt like love, and I got that sense from the album. And I don't know if you guys got that, or did you guys take it for granted? Maybe I'm used to listening to groups who are trying to get one over the other, but what?
I'll just jump in 1,000%. I mean, it was like, the only one who didn't really sing was Bilal, the youngest, which is why they gave him so many songs on his own, just to kind of like, doing it with the B.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Kyrie had the kind of more gruff voice. Hakeem was more like he was a lead, and he was more raspy, almost cursed. Taj had the buttery voice, and I think Taj was actually the really gifted one vocally.
Hold on. We've got Taj in the house.
Wow.
I do, Taj.
Jeez, Phyllis, what's up? What's up?
Oh my God! I was just bigging you up.
Yeah, right? I'm out here. I'm at the park getting my 10,000 steps in, and I was just watching the program. So I said, let me hop on real quick.
We're privileged. I mean, I'm not sure if you heard your brother answering some questions.
Yeah, I heard. Mm-hmm.
Wow, goodness. I mean, what were your memories about this album and stuff?
Yeah, my memories of it, it was just a lot of fun. I mean, we really pretty much had 100% creative control. And we recorded most of the album in New Jersey, in Teaneck, New Jersey, and then also at Paisley Park as well.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
Wow. I mean,
so it was a whole lot of fun. We had a great time, just really being creative and just doing our thing. I mean, we were kids, just kind of like anything that came to mind creatively, we were able to express it. We had the liberty to be able to express it. And, our parents fought for us to have the creative control to really kind of guide the creative vision of the album. And so, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
One thing I just mentioned was that I got this sense of four brothers who loved each other. That's what I get from listening to it. I'm hoping you're going to tell me that was always the case, where you guys were just always one love, and it was no jealousy, and it was like everyone loved each other and stuff yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We're family first, I mean, everyone knows us as the Boys, as brothers, a group that's brothers. But to us, it's family first, we're brothers. And so that always came first. Our parents raised us in such a way to where, it was just a really tight-knit relationship between us. We did everything together growing up, from gymnastic class, karate class, learning instruments and learning about how to play music and recording and performing together. We did everything together. So we were best friends coming up for sure.
Wow, Andrew.
And still to this day as well, too. You know, we are very tight. We're brothers, you know.
Yeah. Knight, do you have something?
Man, I mean, I mean, first of all, thanks for joining. Number one, that's number one. Number two, it's like there is that period, the Sons of Light period, that I kind of want to hear a little bit about. So I have like two questions.
Is someone talking? I don't know if I can hear
the person. He can only hear you, I think, Namdi.
Oh, can you hear? Can you hear Andrew?
I can hear you, but I can't hear Andrew for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Go for it, Namdi. Take it away.
Andrew, you asked about the Sons of Life. What was that?
Yeah, so two questions. I guess like well, first question would be any favorite memories from the Boys period, and then number two, can you break down the Sons of Light kind of period if you had to sum it up in like, you know, I don't know, 3 or 4 sentences or whatever. Like, just tell us a bit more about that, because a lot of the American fans don't know about that period.
Did you get that, Todd?
No, I didn't hear anything that he said. For some reason, I can only hear you.
Okay.
And,
so you need to relay the questions, Namdi.
Yeah, he said well, first of all, the Memories of the Sons of Life album, because it didn't really
Sons of Light period. Like they were the Sons of Light versus the Boys, or maybe even go with where did that? What
about it? Was there a specific question about that time?
Where the name came from, and what was that like during that time?
Well, you know, it kind of like just going back to probably around 90, 94-ish, kind of referring to Hakeem's answer about kind of when music started to kind of shift and change and what executives expected to be delivered. And so pretty much what happened was a lot of record labels were transitioning from private ownership to the hedge funds start buying a lot of the labels and consolidating the labels together. And so that's kind of like when the shift started happening and the expectation when it comes to the content started to change. And so we just kind of like stepped back, you know, and we were, you know, our whole life pretty much was spent performing, rehearsing, performing, traveling in the entertainment industry. And so it's very difficult to kind of develop as a human being, as a person, under the spotlight of celebrity. And so, you know, probably another reason why we kind of like stepped out of the spotlight also was because we were yearning to kind of step out of the celebrity aspect of the business so that we could experience life as like regular people, you know, like have real, authentic, real relationships where that weren't based on us as being celebrities and stars and stuff like that. Being able to have real experiences with other people out of the spotlight of the industry, and just kind of just grow and develop as people, as human beings. And so I think a lot of that drove it as well. I mean, because we never really had that much of an opportunity to do that, to nurture those type of relationships, those type of experiences, outside of the spotlight.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that definitely was somebody's calling me. Yeah, so that definitely was big motivator as well. And so we kind of we came in contact with a community of people. It was like a conscious community here in Atlanta, and we just started studying. We were studying yoga. We were studying about diet, changing our diet, meditation, all of these different things to kind of like really pursue self-knowledge, self-realization, to really come into the knowledge and understanding of ourselves as who we are, you know what I'm saying, as just human beings. And so we were able to kind of find a safe space to do that, a safe community. And that's where Sons of Light kind of grew out of, was out of those experiences within that community and the things that we were studying and learning from that space. And it just kind of like grew from there, you know? And so we produced a few albums under that name. And that kind of rode into our journey into Africa also. So that kind of preceded our journey to Africa. And then, you know, after a few years here in Atlanta of cultivating that lifestyle, then that's when we were invited to the Gambia, West Africa, to perform at a festival. And we went out there and we decided just to stay and to rent a house and open up a studio and start producing for some of the local artists.
Oh goodness! Was it? Oh, so we all thought Hakeem was the only one. So the four of you all went.
Yeah, well, it was three of us. It was myself,
Okay.
Hakeem, and Bilal. We all went out there. Kyrie was still in Los Angeles, but the three of us went to Africa first, and we were out there living in Africa, producing and, you know, and having the African experience.
Wow, goodness! I'm Nigerian. Andrew's from Ghana, so you know we definitely appreciate the fact that you came and enjoyed our continent.
Absolutely, yeah, it was great. We had a great time. Hakeem's still out there, but I stayed there for about 4 years, and I think Bilal stayed maybe about 5 before he came back. But yeah, Hakeem's still out there though.
Wow. Do you guys still any plans of touring or doing stuff as the four of you?
I mean, there's a possibility, you know. I think everyone just has to kind of get on the same page with everything, and it's kind of, you know, it's always some difficulties when you have, you know, everyone has their opinion, everyone has their idea of how things should go, and just kind of getting on the same page. And so I think it's possible, you know, but yeah, it could happen. Anything can happen.
I think what Vijay was asking is that you guys seem happier. You know, we're not saying happier because you're on, but it feels like leaving the US and the industry, because what Hakeem was saying about how they want him to sound like, you know, to write like Snoop and stuff. It feels as if you guys kind of found your lane, and actually that seems to have changed how you guys feel around each other. Is do you feel that no regrets?
But look, I mean, the thing is that, I mean, when you look at a lot of child entertainers, you know, a lot of those stories don't turn out so nice, you know, is because, like I was saying earlier, that it's hard to grow and develop as a human being, as a real person under the spotlight of celebrity, you know? And so a lot of child celebrities end up experiencing a lot of arrested development, you know, and then those things come out in negative other ways, you know, sometimes negative ways. and self-destructive behaviors, you know.
Mm.
And so I am I'm happy that we kind of took a break from that, because we had been working since we were like 8 8 years old. We were, you
Wow.
know, performing at the beach, and you know, and then getting signed to Motown in MCA, and just doing that whole thing, you know, for years and whatnot, and never really having the opportunity to really have the space to, you know, explore ourselves, like who we are, you know, just like on a deep level as human beings, not as the celebrity, not as the personality, not as the star, not as the, you know, not as
Yeah.
how the world perceives us, but who we actually are from within. And so uh, I appreciate um, that we made those choices, because I think that it was much healthier. Um, and I love who I am today. You know, I'm I'm happy with who I am today. I wouldn't trade that for the world. You know, not a lot of people, they idolize celebrity and entertainment and all of this stuff, that whole lifestyle and whatnot. And it's great. It has its perks. It's wonderful
Mm.
if you're rooted, if you're already rooted, you know. But if you don't have your roots kind of, you know, planted first, then it could sweep you away, you know. You could
Mm.
end up in a bad situation. And so I'm glad that we took the time to be able to get ourselves rooted and planted in reality. You know what I'm saying? When I say reality, I mean like knowledge of self, like who we are as people, as human beings, who, you know, our values, the things that are really truly important in life, you know. And you know, once you have that, I think that's the priority. Once you have that, then yeah, you could be a celebrity, a star, and engage in all that other stuff, you know. And it'll be okay, because you're already firmly rooted in, you know, your truths. You've had the time to explore those things, and become clear on what those things are. And so, you know, I'm totally satisfied with who I am today. I don't think that would have been possible if we would have continued on the path that we were on, you know. And to me, that's much more valuable than being a celebrity, you know. There's nothing wrong with being a celebrity. Let me put that out there too. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. But when you're kind of evaluating, you know, your values, what is most important? You know, there's a hierarchy, you know, and what's most important is, you know, that you have yourself first and
Mm.
foremost, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, you guys, not only did you have a global hit with "Dial My Heart" when you were so young. I mean, we saw you in Moonwalker. You know, you
Yeah.
hanging out with Mike. I mean, global fame. And I think Vijay was asking how, where did you get the level of consciousness to be grounded, to be able to actually just be grounded? Because it may be stuff people could help other people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's two things, you know. It was kind of living that lifestyle, you know, of entertainment, you know, and being in it for so long, since we were, like I said, from like 7 8 years old, we were performing all the way up until we were, you know, teens and whatnot. And so when you're doing that, at least for us, you know, something, there was a yearning within us to, you know, like something's missing. You know, like you have everything. You have all the things that people say, you know, are desirable. You got the fame, you have money, you have celebrity, you have, you know, respect, you had all these things. You got the toys, the cars, and all that stuff. But then there's something also missing, you know, and that is character, you know, character development. Even though we had great parents, you know what I'm saying? But there's certain aspects of character development that can only happen outside of the spotlight in real life, you know, interacting with real people, you know? And so, yeah, we just felt like, at least I'll speak for myself, like, yeah, I was missing that, you know, as far as like friends, like we had friends, you know what I'm saying? We take our friends on tour with us. They were our dancers and stuff like that. But as far as like real organic friendships, like you go out, you meet some people and you'll become friends, and it wasn't based on that you're a star, you know? Like those were the things that, like for myself, I was yearning to have those real authentic connections, you know? And so I think that kind of pulled me, and I would say us too, onto that other path. And we were able to, like I said, come in contact with a community of people here in Atlanta where we were able to develop those type of authentic connections, real life experiences, and kind of live as like just normal people for a while, you know, without feeling as though people are only kind of like befriending you because of who you are, or, you know, what you could do for them, et cetera, et cetera. And so, yeah, in doing that, you know, we it was a very positive community also. So we did we got into a lot of meditation, a lot of spiritual work, and, you know, just like a lot of self work that was very healthy on an internal level. And so I think it paid off, you know?
I think the guys would always are asking about your favorite memories or songs from the boys' period. You know, when you look back at the career, the three albums? I mean, well, starting with those three albums, any favorite songs and memories from from those early days in the early '80s?
Yeah. I would say on the first album, on Messages for the Boys, I think one of my favorite songs was Just for the Fun of It. I like that. Definitely Lucky Charm. Definitely Lucky Charm was a banger. Love Gram also. Down My Heart, of course. Yeah, those were some of my favorites from the first album. Second album, this thing called Love. I like that one. I really enjoyed that one. Crazy, of course. We wrote and produced that one. Yeah. Second album. Let me see what else was on that second album. It's been a minute since I've listened to it. Those are the ones that kind of like stick out the most for me, though. And then the Saga Continues, I would say. What's the one? Thought You Knew. Thought You Knew. I love that one. Yeah, Thought You Knew. I'm Yours. I'm Yours was a banger. Happiness was a banger. Let's see. Yeah, I think Be Your Man was fire also too. I think those stand out also. Second album. Let me go back to that one. You Got Me Crying. You Got Me Crying is a banger. Let's see. What's the other one? Na 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 na. Tonight. That one. Tonight was a banger also. Yeah. Those are some of the ones that kind of stick out the most for me, for sure.
Did you have a favorite out of the three albums?
A favorite of the three?
Yeah.
You know, they're all so different, they're all different, all three albums are so different. And so I wouldn't say I have a favorite of the three, but I mean, definitely Saga Continues and Crazy album uh, kind of mean more because our fingerprint was so much more on those albums. We had the opportunity to write and produce so much more on those two albums.
How is it possible? You guys were so young. I mean, you look at the credits and you see you guys are writing, producing, but then it's like, but they're kids. I mean, was it? Did people, the industry people, did they not say, okay, no, this, we can't trust kids with this, or did they really see the talent and says, you know what, we can trust you guys? Because Boys to
Well,
Men
yeah,
tried it, and they didn't give Boys to Men the opportunity to produce their own album. They had to get Dallas and others because they didn't trust them, but they trusted you guys.
yeah. Well, our parents were really strong advocates for us,
Okay.
in the boardrooms, and so that had a lot to do with it. And then also too, you know, we were producing and writing, and you know, uh, we were the executives could see the talent was there, you know,
Mm.
and we a lot of time was spent, working with the greats, also like LA uh, and Babyface,
Mm.
and we took a lot of tips from them and just watched them work, and as far as like the quality, when it came to uh, cutting vocals and things like that, and making sure that everything was right, like kind of studying under them, kind of took the standard up to a very high level, and we didn't know. To us, that just became, that was just the natural standard because that's who we studied under, but we didn't know that uh, that was really like we were working with the best of the best. I mean, Babyface is probably the best songwriter of all times at this
Mm.
point.
Yeah. You guys in the third album, MC Trouble, was mentioned almost on three tracks. Well, how much? What did
Yeah,
she mean to you guys? That's because three tracks. She was. You guys mentioned her.
yeah, that was our sister. That was our sister. We were both signed to Motown, and that's where we developed our relationship. Um, and she became a sister to us, and we spent just a tremendous amount of time together, and just developed just such a deep, strong relationship, with her. And so when we lost her, it was definitely devastating, and we definitely wanted to honor her in some way on that second album.
Yeah, no, the third album. The saga continues because yeah, that was the one that's.
Was it The Saga Continues or
Yeah,
Crazy?
the
One of
saga
them. Yeah.
continues. Yeah, the saga continues. Yeah, yeah, it was
Mm.
mentioned out. I mean, you get people. Somebody asks, "How did Will I get Baby B as a nickname?"
Baby B. Yeah, it was just like a nickname around the house, That's just what we call him, was Baby B. Because he's the baby, he's the baby of the bunch. And so he's Baby B.
Goodness, I
That's
mean
just
the
how it
fact.
happens.
I mean the fact
Mm.
that he stepped up on a number of the tracks. I mean, as I said, was that stuff that was always planned when it came to it, or did he really say, "Look, I'm going to quit if I don't get a chance to sing"?
Well, he was the baby of the bunch. And so my parents, my mom especially, was his biggest advocate, and so
Wow.
she always, whatever the three older brothers were doing, she always would push to include Bilal as well. So, whatever we were doing, he would be doing also. And even though he was younger than us, and maybe a little step behind us, like we always, uh, kind of had him in the mix. And so I think the time just came to where we were like, yeah, it's time to showcase Bilal and put him up front and allow him to display his talent as well.
Wow. Any are you any music coming from you?
Oh yeah, I'm always producing and writing, and I got a lot of stuff that's kind of like in the vault, but I'm not sure. I don't have any plans on when I'm going to release something next just yet. But as Hawk said, like music is just a lifestyle for us. It's just what we do. It's just been a part of our lives for so long. It's yeah, it's outside of like doing it commercially. We just do it for the love of it and for the love of expression and getting our creativity out for sure.
Wow. I mean, we were definitely honored that you definitely took time to dial in and stuff. I mean, the fact that Hakeem sent his stuff in, but the fact that that you decided to come on and show some love, that is beyond our expectations. So we're truly honored, and even taking time to answer the questions as well. You've got a lot of people showing love throughout the chat, from all the albums and stuff like that. You guys were definitely an inspiration to a lot of us.
Big up, big up. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me on. I definitely wanted to just pop in real quick and because I really appreciate um, that you guys are just keeping the conversation going and honoring our contributions to music in this type of way. And just want to send a shout out to all of the people out there who love our music and who are passing it on to the next generation and who were inspired by us. Definitely want to send love out to all you guys as well too.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Sarge, for coming on and representing. And yeah, we as I said, it's yeah. I mean, goodness, I remember listening to Down My Heart, and I was in Nigeria at the time. It was so big, and when Crazy came out and stuff, and so unfortunately, and when I moved to the States in '92, the Saga Continues did not get the airplay that the other two albums got, and but I know that there was a change of management at Motown, and there was a shift in direction. Um, but I don't know if you guys felt that at all when Motown changed from with from Gerald Bosby leaving and Andre coming in. Did you guys feel that? Did you notice the impact, or is that stuff your dad had to handle?
No, we definitely noticed it for sure. I mean, you could definitely kind of just feel the shift in energy, and yeah, like I said, it was just a change in management and just a change in direction overall, and I mean, like Hawk was saying, like we had the kind of like the option to kind of mold our sound to the latest trends and whatnot. And I think we kind of did a little bit of that with on the Saga Continues, but it just kept going further and further in that direction. But by that time, we were already kind of deep on our spiritual journey,
Okay.
and we were heading in a whole nother direction, which was in a much more conscious direction.
Mm.
Yeah, and so it kind of became like a clash, and of kind of values for
Mm.
us as far as the direction in which we were going to go. It was we were at a crossroads, I would say, and so we had to make a choice, and we chose to go with with ourselves, being true to ourselves.
Wow. And we're definitely, we've heard people like Dave Chappelle talk about that. And I remember speaking to Speech from Arrested Development talking about, it isn't all about the money. It's about, being true to yourself. And but then inspiring others by showing that look, there's more than one path to success.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And success isn't always measured in money. You know,
Mm,
success, in my opinion, is measured in um, integrity, in being able to go to sleep at night with a clear conscience. Um, yeah, and inner peace. To me, that's the ultimate success, to be able to live at peace in this world, you know, with the choices and decisions that you've made.
yeah. Wow. Taj, with that, we have to appreciate you for coming on and taking the time and even stopping for a little bit from your steps and but
Mm.
sharing about the album, sharing about your brothers and your family. And we definitely appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Yeah, hopefully, maybe we'll do it again another time.
Definitely, definitely. Take care.
One love, y'all. Peace.
So, guys, what did you make? We just had, yes. Oh, hold on one second here. We just, yeah, let's go charge in here. So, move everything about. What did you make it of it, Andrew? Oh, I think you're muted, Andrew. Oh, Andrew.
Can't hear you.
Oh, so but I could hear you before. VJ. Okay. Why? Can are you?
Can you
No,
hear
we
me?
can't hear you. No. What happened to
Hear
him?
me?
No, no, we can't hear Andrew. But VJ, do you want to? What?
I was going to say the greatest thing about the boys leaving the industry, and that was why that question was so pertinent from my perspective anyway, was you can tell they have peace of mind.
Mm,
They have peace of mind, and people spend a lifetime trying to get to that point. And the fact that they have found that, and they found that at such a young age, it's extraordinary. I need to know more about their upbringing and how that is even possible, because that is a very rare thing.
mm, yeah. No, Andrew. I'm not sure what happened. What happened to Andrew? Yes, everything is fine. But yeah, we're not going to hear you. You're gonna go and come back. Okay, Stevie. What did you?
I'm just kind of like, it's another pinch. We've had an incredible week. You know, we've had an incredible week with podcasts this week. We've just heard Taj's story there. The other night we were getting was hearing about mine, Zan, Gene Griffin. Oh, what a week it's been. You know what I mean? I don't know how you're going to top Wednesday night. Maybe Donnell Jones and Jones drop by. You know what I mean? You just never know. Viewers, you never know on this channel. You know what I mean? On halftime chat. You know,
Exactly.
these stars just casually drop in. You know what I mean? So be prepared Wednesday night, folks. Be prepared. You just never know.
Andrew.
Oh,
Oh,
it's still gone.
what happened to Andrew's
I
sound?
can't hear you, Andrew.
Oh, what happened to Andrew? Though? Oh, yeah, it's
Restart. You
different.
got to restart.
He's gonna restart. Okay. Um, yeah. I mean, as I said, I reached out to Taj, Hakeem, and Bilal, and the fact that Hakeem sent us the message and Taj just joined in is it's completely humbling as well. And it's been a very different episode today because normally by this time we're halfway through talking about the album, but because we were fortunate to get you know Hakeem answering your questions and then and Taj just coming on, it just changes the whole thing. But it makes us understand that most of the they learned about what was important. Not just family, but their own lives and the industry. You know, Jackie talks about it. So lots of people talk about it. It's not a safe space, and I know Timmy Gatlin will tell you that as much as he hated the fact that he got kicked out of Guy, but he went on to have a different life. Got married, had his kids, and owned his publishing and everything like that. And so, yes, just popping in VJ. Where did you get your T-shirt from, please?
He's missed everything. Colin's missed everything. Colin, you just missed one of the boys. Missed one of the boys dropping in. Was he in Ghana or Atlanta? I don't know where he was.
No, Taj is in Atlanta.
All right.
Taj is in
It's
Atlanta.
so sunny over there because we're actually on the same time zone as West Africa.
Andrew, you there?
I hope so.
Yes, finally.
That is insane. So I got C blocked by my computer. I could have been talking to Taj the whole time, and it was my computer, not. And I'm so mad right now. Anyway, it's all
What
good.
did you make of it?
It was amazing. I mean, I think that the level of consciousness displayed, the level of self-awareness, knowledge of self, it's such a blessing. Blown away. I think some history was made for just anyone who was a fan of the Boys. Loved his song choices. Not gonna lie. But yeah.
So you could see your face because you couldn't talk. You're animated like the Duracell bunny, the Energizer bunny.
It's funny. I wanted to ask him about Simpty. They were talking about how being a celebrity was like a struggle even on that second album. So to bring that up when they were little kids, it was a good kind of indicator of where they were going. So I'm so glad that we decided to go with this subject and have such a wonderful exchange. Lovely interview, by the way, Namdi. Just saying for the record. So.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, as I said, it's something to be humble. That no one can ever think that I'm here thinking, yeah, great, he showed up. You always get humbled and surprised and appreciate the fact that they would take time out of their schedule and say, okay, I'm going to come on and actually just try this out and share, because there was so much of our childhood, and but the way the industry is that they did that with Shanice. They do that with artists who tend to have a conscience. They don't like that. The industry doesn't like that because it's like they can't control you, and they get nervous. And so, but to be brave enough to walk away, it is, people's whole identity is in fame, and they realized, no, that's not who we are. And I'm glad he confirmed that they were brothers through and through. That just because it emulates. If you listen to the album, that's the thing I picked up. I was like, what is? They just feel like they love each other, and and he confirmed it. So, yeah.
I'm so sorry. Last thing I'm gonna say. Oh, and Steve, jump in. But last thing I'm gonna say is I loved when he said, I define success by integrity. I define success as you can be good with the decisions you've made, the life you've lived. Like that is that peace of mind. I mean, my God, like it's such wisdom. I'm gonna say it. It's we all, I think, I shouldn't say we all, but a lot of us know that, but it's just reaffirming to hear that, especially knowing, it could have gone another way. I mean, he just kept it so real. So, all right.
Okay. Right. Do we even get into the album? Should we?
I have a suggestion for that.
Top 5.
Because we've done, we spent quite a long time today. Can I request that we do this properly again another time, if that's possible? If you want to
we just read our top 10s out.
But there's so much information. Like I've got a lot of data here, man. And if you want to do a top 5, just top 10, read it. We can do that.
Or maybe we read our top 5, our 5 to 10 to 5. And then we do the round from 5 to 1, or we just come back and do it again because this was a special episode. Oh man, I kind of want to get into the album, but I mean I'm okay doing because it will be here all night if we start the regular way.
This album needs to be talked about properly. I don't want to rush it, in my opinion, but if you want to read the top 10 out, we can do that.
But the other thing too is I'm sure it could be gratifying. I don't know, like maybe for them to hear us talk about this album, So I feel like we give back. We just got a lot of energy from Taj, and I want to give them that energy.
And
too.
we're here for a while then. So let's
We'll just keep it going.
Yeah,
We'll be
and
fast.
and on what Andrew says, you know, when we did the Karen White versus Pebbles,
Yeah.
Karen White was watching the entire time,
Yeah.
and she was. So for her, she said it was such a humbling experience to watch us talk about her music. So, yeah, I mean, I can start with number 10 of
DJ is tired.
Some of us have had long weeks.
But I'll start with number 10. This was number 2 for a long time, and then it shifted, and so doing it with the B comes in at number 10 for me. At first, when I started with the album, I almost didn't even. I started from 1 down, and then after a while, I've shifted things around. Is this a sample of Biz Markie doing it with the Biz? Okay.
On doing it with the B, I think so. I think they're right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's your happy birthday. Okay, so that's number 10 for me, VJ.
So I was gonna say, firstly, Colin, I got this T-shirt at the Harlem Apollo when the Jacksons performed. I think it was shortly after Michael had passed away. So it was 4 of them. Yeah, incredible show. I just think, Michael obviously wasn't there, but I think Randy wasn't there. I think the rest of them were there, if I'm not mistaken. That's where I got this T-shirt. I don't know if it was just your mic then, Andrew, because we had some questions. I think I would have asked. I wanted to know about their connection with Michael Jackson, because I know they got on very, very well. Like Moonwalker was mentioned, right?
Yeah, they were Moonwalker.
But anyway, my number 10, it's has 3 samples. Potbelly by Lou Donaldson from 1970. Impeach the President by the Honey Drippers, 1973. Again, very, very good sample. Long Red by Mountain, 1972. My number 10 is Apple Juice, lovely mid-tempo. Some fantastic samples make this song come together really well. And it was very interesting to hear the Teddy Riley reference, game recognizing game and influence. That's my number 10.
Okay.
Wow.
Stevie.
Goody, we've kind of not mentioned who's in the chat this evening. Quickly, big shout to Dwayne, to Tap Records. Derek's with us. Deu's with us. New Pack is with us. Mrs. Taron is with us. Got New Pack. DJ All Day, how you doing? Who else we got? We've got Dwayne Adams World. God, I could be here all night. Ian Jones is with us. Benson's, how you doing, sir? Good evening. Yes, Jake Green's with us. DJ, I mentioned Malik's with us. How you doing, sir? Lando Calrissian from the Return of the Jedi's with us. CG. Anyway, Malik's with us as well. Producer K. Anyway, let's go on. Alex Clark, how you doing, sir? Anyway, number 10 is, could it be James Brown and Fred Wesley doing it to death? But instead, it's doing it with the B. Doing it nice and easy. Oh, yeah. Fred Wesley doing it to death. You know what? I watched an interview with the Boys and Donnie Simpson when they released this album. And Hakeem said, he asked him about Hakeem and his production. And he said, we're working with Bilal on his solo album. So there's a Bilal solo album as well, produced by Hakeem. We should have come out on Motown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That would have been amazing.
That would have been what year was that?
92. So
oh, my God.
On his solo album, it said.
That's just crazy talk, isn't it?
Mm. Oh. So he had other projects going on as well as Calling England and the other bits that he was doing.
Oh, Andrew.
All right. I'm going to try to keep it short so that way I get a chance to sing when it's time. But You Got Me Crying at number 10 for me. Wow. I love it. You know, it's had a positive message, so I liked it. That's it. Number 10.
Does that remind you of PM Dawn?
A little bit.
Yeah, the vibe of that production. Yeah. It's very PM Dawn
There's
sound.
a better day. Like, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, that came in number 9 for me. Yeah, I did think PM Dawn, Arrested Development, that type of it almost felt like it was it was the beginning of that self-conscious type of expression that Taj just talked about. Um, yes, got me crying. Was that the one that if that was the one where that he's feeling sad? Um, yeah, yeah. So when I listen to that, so it's the one that's it's like, yeah, why are you sad? And it says, yeah,
Yes, in the beginning,
yeah.
spoken.
So
Yeah,
it starts off. It starts off sad. You know, like, yeah, I'm sad with trouble, and I'm like, oh man. So I listen to it. Then it picks up. It gets a little bit better, but it gives me that sad feeling at the very beginning. But it reminded me of Peaceful Journey. Um,
sure.
what is wrong with the future? That kind of because the way they were rapping and stuff, so it gave me that vibe as well. Anyway, VJ.
Number 9, I mentioned it before, Great Up Tempo, which was constantly on the box. It has one official sample, which is Melvin Bliss Synthetic Substitution from 1973. It's really worth taking a listen of that. And I'm sure there's also a sample of NWA when Dr. Dre says the saga continues or something.
Mhm.
And that's not credited officially. And I wonder how all these samples were cleared back then, because there's some incredible samples to get through when we go further up the list. But yeah, Saga Continues. I thought it was a great single. That's my number 8.
Or 9.
Oh, sorry.
We're on 9.
Okay, I can't count. I am very, very tired now. So, I am going to leave. That's my number 8. Next time, I'll talk about my number 9, and that's what it will be.
You're manifesting speed.
Right. Stevie.
Good evening to Mr. Vamp Amp and Mr. Morris. And I think I've mentioned everybody now. If I haven't mentioned you, tell me, and I'll give you a shout. Same as you, VJ. I thought the lead off single was quite chaotic. I think, you know, it definitely had another Bad Creation vibe about it. I still don't I don't get that single at all. Yeah, I think I did buy it. I bought the Import 12 for the remixes. Loved the instrumentals on it. Bit chaotic, but it has made my number 9. You know, I was watching the video earlier, and they stopped after that doing it with a B, and they only released 2 singles. And
Well, they had 3 videos.
Did they? What was the third video?
Tonight.
All right, I've not seen that one.
Yeah. Okay.
I need to check that out.
Andrew, number 9.
My number 9 is Pass the 40 ounce of apple juice. Pass the 40 ounce of apple juice. Blow the girl's house up. Front page team. Blow the smithereens. And then, of course, at the end, he's like, yeah, you can't blow the girl's house up, man. And then anyway, they shout out POV at the end of that song too, man. All the back in Jersey. And it's the 1 to the D to the A to the V to the I to the N. What's up, man? I love that song. And then, of course, anyways, we're keeping it quick. Number 9, Apple Juice.
Okay.
Nice.
Number 8 for me was a song that gives me. In one point, I'm thinking Commodores, but a mixture of Commodores, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and that's Happiness. Amazing production. I could just imagine this being live with a band, so that's why I was thinking of the Commodores or Earth, Wind, and Fire singing it in that type of environment. Very mature song for their age, but it just felt like, wow, musically, they just felt like they understood. There was a student of history, not just New Jack, but some of those bands from the 80s and from the 70s and stuff. So it's a very impressive track. Yeah, Happiness is at number 8 for me.
Very nice. My number 9, which I got the orders wrong, so I'm going to say my number 9 now. My number 9 was Be Your Man, hard hitting, nice production, works very well, and typical of 1992. That's my number 9. But
Nice.
we're on 8.
Oh, you said Shanice was background vocals on Happiness.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. I have more to say on that when I get to it.
What was your number 10, VJ?
My number 10 was Apple Juice.
All right.
What
Right,
about you?
number 8 for me again is I'm sure a UK swing track sampled that furious loop to this track. Do you remember that compilation Steve Jervier put out? Street Hype. What was that big swing track with a 10-second countdown? Can you remember?
Jet Ishmael?
Yeah, there was a loop in that. Was it on? I'm sure it was on that, but Be Your Man. If you listen to the loop, the swing loop at the beginning, that crazy.
Yeah.
One of those UK swing tracks sampled it. It might have been that track. I can't remember. Someone in the comments remind me. But yeah, was it POV? Yeah, they did backgrounds on the album, didn't they? I'm looking at the credits. They were on the background.
Nice.
It's about POV, the group, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, POV. One of the members was Hakeem Bell, Robert Cool Bell's son. Right?
Yeah. Anyway, Be Your Man. I'm trying to think why that's not higher up. Maybe because of some of the lyrics, but I do like production on it. I think some of the rap in the lyrics were a bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, somebody's just said, yeah, Link was doing the chants on The Saga Continues and the intro on Doing It with the B. I didn't know he sung until the POV album. That's by Darren Harris.
Wow.
All right. Well, point of information about Be Your Man, it was not on the cassette. So my bandmate had the CD, but I had the cassette. So Be Your Man was on there, and Hawks House of Pleasure was literally just it was like an interlude, like maybe like 45 seconds. It was terrible.
How did that make you feel?
Robbed. So my number 8 is na 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 na. That girl is a freak of the week, yow. You know, it's just so different. Gangsta boogie. Like like it's so, and it perfectly follows Apple Juice. You're just having fun at this point. Mm-hmm. So freak of the week is the one, and every time I see someone who's a little freaky, that song does play in my head. The girl is a freak of the week. Fine.
I had that at number 7.
Nice. That's the second time we've done that.
Yeah, the bass, the bass was just slapping throughout the track, and that sense of a George Clinton, that kind of funk. Yeah, I mean, just think. They did say it. I wonder if that was recorded at Paisley Prince's studio, because you could just imagine if we got that Minneapolis sound on that track. But yes, definitely love the track at number 7.
My number 7 is Happiness. It's a lovely mid-tempo track with some really accomplished production. This may be number 7, but it's a really noteworthy song. It's a very full song, and everything just sounds right wherever it is. It is amazing. But that's my number 7.
I'm stunned, VJ. I'm absolutely stunned.
But I bigged it up. I know, yeah. I bigged it up because it deserves to be bigged up.
I think, where's my yellow card? Where's my yellow card, John?
Oh, goodness. See, what about you?
I'll be honest, between 10 and 7, I kind of really struggled, but I went with the PM Dawn sound. It's reminding me of PM Dawn. It has that PM Dawn, You Got Me Crying. There's just something about that track.
Yeah.
You mentioned a few of the tracks there. I don't know how you've got in your top 10s, guys. Apple Juice and Freak of the. How they even managed to get in your top 10? I'm absolutely stunned.
There's only 12 songs on the album, so
right. They ain't the ones, though, are they? They really ain't the ones, guys. Deary me.
All right.
Okay. What about you, Andrew?
What about me? So this reminded me of a phenomenon that first started with Channel J. So Channel J came out in 90. And then See the Lady, which was basically Channel J Part 2, or like a remix of Channel J on the Sexy Verses album. It was 91, actually. Either way, Funny 92 was a remix of Funny from the second album. And they changed the lyrics a little bit, because it was like, I remember too, I like that song because I remember my older brother would say, like, let's be real, whatever. Me growing up, I was like, man, you don't like me now. One day I'm gonna glow up and you're gonna want me, right? So funny, it's funny how it changes. Like, anyway, it's all about that. Like, I'm getting too excited. Roll it back. What I'm trying to say, ultimately, is Funny 92 is a remix of the 1990 version. I like it. It makes it a number 7. But I think I actually do prefer the innocence of the original Funny. Because in the Funny 92, he says, I want to do you versus I want to spend my life with you. So they, but everything else is like, it's a remix and an original. That's it. Number 7.
Very nice.
Okay. Number 6 for me. Where was I going here? Yeah, as I said, the Thought You Knew comes in at number 6 for me. Yeah, as I said, I think apart from number 1 and 2, the first 3, I think most of these songs they were all around the same, where I could have moved them anywhere. But Thought You Knew comes in at number 6 for me.
If I was to give a yellow card, this would be it. That is just me. I very rarely mention the words yellow card, but this would be that moment.
I mean, it had the New Jack, yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's no, but as I said, it was definitely different and stuff like that. Yeah. But I had others that I just
fair enough. I'm just
loved a little bit better.
For me, number 6, it has 2 samples: Impeach the President by the Honey Drippers, 1973, which feels like every single song seems to sample that song, and God Made Me Funky by the Headhunters featuring the Pointer Sisters. This is lovely production. I'm talking about Tonight, and it gave me some Brotherhood Creed Helluva vibes. And I also wanted to say the synths are absolutely killer on this. Killer synths on this. The production is just too much, man. I can see why it was chosen as a single. It makes sense to me. Or was meant to be a single.
Yeah, that was a great choice. From 6 downwards, I'm very happy with this album now. I'm glad to say. I'm very, very happy. The top 6 is probably, I can go back to this now, but Tonight is at my number 6.
Nice.
Well. Oh, nice.
I mean, good up tempo track to start off. 3 or 4 good New Jack tracks on here.
All right. Well, my number 6, I remember. LOL. My number 6 was thrown. My number 6 is I remember hearing it, and again, that the saxophone to me was Careless Whisper. But it's all good. This song was just like, who does this? Like, who makes an instrumental song on their album? And there's even some female background vocals. Now, I don't have this. I have the CD packed away somewhere, so I could probably look it up. I want to know who it was. But the song is just a sonic journey of like atmosphere. And it was sophistication. Bam, ba, ba. So Hawk's House of Pleasure is just like the perfectly sequenced song between Happiness and I'm Yours, although I think Thought You Knew and then I'm Yours. Either way, it was perfectly synced. The second side of the album to me is actually, no, I can't even say that. All I'll say is Hawk's House of Pleasure is at number 6, but don't be fooled. That song is like the stuff. So that's my number 6, and that's all I am saying about
and that's a yellow card for you at number 6. Now, a yellow card, mate. What is that doing at number 6? How good is that track?
Man, I'm gonna come back. I got some bangers for number 2, 1, 2, and 3. I got some bangers for you.
Oh goodness! I had at number 5. Are we at number 5? Right? Yeah. Funny 92, and I hadn't really heard it in the previous album, but this was the Uptown kind of. This is the Uptown. If he when Hack says, I'm calling him Hack now. When Hakeem talks about being inspired by Teddy, the Funny 92 was like a Teddy Riley type of track. Like the Uptown Call, and even hey Marco, it's good to see you.
Shout out to Marco. Shout out to Marco. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, but even the whole track gives me that. So I love the track. I didn't. Yeah, in fact, I will go back and listen to it from the first, second album to see the difference. But Funny 92, love the New Jack Teddy inspiration from it. Yeah.
Nice, man. My number 5 samples 4 songs, including Belle Biv DeVoe's Poison from 1990, Average White Band Schoolboy Crush from 1975, fantastic track, James Brown The Payback from 73, and James Brown's Get Up, Get Into It, Get Involved from 70. Great production. It's very clean, clinical sounding New Jack vibe. I'm talking about the second single, Doing It With The B. That's my number 5. Great. I understand why it was a single. There's better songs on here. Don't get me wrong. Some incredible songs on here, but I understand why it was a single. That's my number 5.
Look at Stevie.
There's no way. I would not even release that as a single. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. The New Jack Swing tracks on here, like I say, the production's bang on. But if I'm really honest, there's no real one song that hits here on the new. I'm talking about the New Jack ones. They just like others on other New Jack Swing albums where you've got real killers. Maybe I can't. There's only one. I will get to it, but I'm kind of struggling.
My number 1, when we get to it, I think that would have made a great single, and I'll just say that's a New Jack Swing banger, and I think
I think that would have
blown up. I
know.
Yeah, I think I know what it is.
Subliminals. I think.
You might be shocked. You might be like Happiness at number 7 and think VJ's lost the plot.
Right.
Anyway,
I've got Funny 92 at number 5, one of the swing tracks. Again, solid. Not outstanding by any means. I like the production, the lately bass on it and everything. It's got all the sounds that I want in a swing track. It's still got a bubblegum vibe though, hasn't it? But it's the Boys. That's probably what we wanted from them, really. Not the hard gangster I'm a G type of thing. You know what I mean? Which they obviously weren't, but there you go.
All right. Well, my number 5, I'll keep it quick, is Get Off My Bozak. Number 5 is Tonight. Oh. So it is number 5. I don't know if it wouldn't have been my first in around my first 3 singles. It would have maybe the 4th. But in any event, that's it. Number 5. Strong song, love it. It's a great vibe.
Yeah. I don't think they had too many on this album, but and I'm sure this will be higher up for somebody else, but I'm Yours it comes in at number 4. And it does give me it gave me stuff that I probably might have heard on I feel very Uptown type of vibe with this. But it was interesting that they only had one slow song on the album, but this was slowish mid-tempo. But yes, I'm Yours at number 4.
Nice.
My number 4, you've mentioned it. It's been mentioned already. I love the original. This remix, Funny 92, fantastic. I love the different interpretation of the same song. Very nice. And I felt like I was back home again, if that makes sense. So that's how this song made me feel. The original from 90 sample James Brown's Papa Don't Take No Mess from 74. This version had two very, very cool samples. I thought Bismarcky's Vapors from 1988 and Brass Construction's Moving from 75. I think Hack wanted to go harder on this one than the original, but both of them definitely have their place. I think this is a fantastic New Jack Swing sound. I think Hakeem Abdulsamad should be a household name. There's no reason why somebody this talented this young should be so talented. And I know somebody mentioned Dallas Austin being the same age. You could argue that Teddy Riley was the same age, Rodney Jerkins was the same age. But the thing is, with those producers, they seem to go on and like dominate the charts for so long. And I don't think Hack did that. And I think he really, really could have. And that's my takeaway from all of this. I feel there's some sadness, because I think this group and that producer had so much more to give. And when you said, Stevie, that Bilal had a solo album with Hack in 1992, that's blown my mind, because what did that sound like, man? What? Come on, man. You know that's going to be amazing.
Probably more like Doing It With the Bee, I suspect. A lot of rapping.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, hopefully they can.
There have been some incredible beats on it, though.
For sure. But that's my number 4, Funny 92.
Wow.
Okay.
My number 4 is probably the best New Jack Swing track on it. Thought You Knew. You know what I mean? If you guys have got that higher, I totally understand. That's one of the standout New Jack tracks on it, really, for me. Number 4.
That's the one. Number 4 for me, I like it the most, I think, maybe of everyone here. It's actually The Saga Must Continue. I remember seeing the video and actually being hyped for it. Someone said in the comments that someone took Taj's haircut and got girls from it, because Taj had like the real. Anyway, it was totally like dope. And I love that beat. The hold on a second. The sample is come on, where are you at? The sample is, anyways, that drum beat do. It's anyways. You said it, Stevie. Anyway, I love that sample. And then they also sampled old kind of like a Warner Brothers cartoon Disney that and I finally used AI to figure out what it is. It's called Powerhouse by Raymond Scott. So that's a huge part of like the song. And then when they go when they go with the MC Trouble, and in the video they go from like kind of white tank tops and like combat boots, like kind of Jodeci, to like suits and the fedoras. I was like, finally bringing back that New Jack era like flyness when everyone was going more gangsta. So I love this. Saga Continue. Last thing I'll say, it's in my personal headcanon trilogy of 100 Miles and Running. Then you had Gotta Love, the remix, the video remix, and then finally Saga Must Continue. 4 dudes with that same kind of manic, like, the cops are coming, it was just, it had that energy. And that was the end of my headcanon trilogy that started with 100 Miles and Running. So yeah, man, love that.
Nice list of nice 3 songs there. And another thing about that, I liked in that video, the suits seemed slightly oversized.
Yeah.
And
just to make sure they're cute.
And that made it a little bit cuter. Well, it made sense. The boys, right? I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Number 3 for me, I wish was a little bit higher up, but I'm overly impressed by hold on. Well, just my time.
He always has this moment.
Right.
As I was drinking stuff.
We love you too, Nandi. You don't have to stay around, man.
But Hack's House of Pleasure is just, it's just unbelievable. That, and there was a part of me that was wondering if he had kept the keyboard instead of the saxophone, and it would have been like a Devontae Swing type of stuff if he had used a keyboard, because sax by the early 90s were coming out of style. So I do wonder if he had just chosen a different instrument, and I probably should have asked him that. But nonetheless, it is just remarkable that they just said, yeah, you just have a song that you're just gonna go to town with. I mean, that's just insane. That sounds quite different from everything else. So imagine if he says, Anita, let me produce a track for you, or Tony Braxton and stuff like that. It is just unbelievable with that. So Hack's House of Pleasure is at number 3 for me.
Nice.
Nice, great choice. And Andrew, you didn't answer it properly. I asked you Hack's House of Pleasure. So you had the full version and you had the edited version. You can't just say it sucks. It made you feel sad. I would have been so pissed off. It would have been like, oh, what the hell's going on, man? So you had like the cheap budget version of the song.
So whack. it was like, what are you doing?
Tell us, how did you feel?
Oh, okay. You want me to really get into my feelings?
Yeah,
here?
tell us.
I went to a lot of counseling to like get over this. I don't know if I want to rip off that Band-Aid, man. Like I'm just the scar tissue was all
the duration on the cassette of it. I need to get this tape. Then was only about a minute long on the tape.
Yeah, it was literally like
an interlude.
You were so robbed,
and then it would fade to nothing. It was such BS, man.
No, that'd make a great interlude. That it really would.
It'd be an incredible interlude, but Andrew's face was priceless there, man. I can just tell his frustration, man.
Yeah,
that must have stuck so hard, man.
It was terrible. Like, what are you doing? It's like your hottest stuff, and it's not even on the album. Like you're shortchanging yourself and the fans. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, there's other songs that was swapped out.
I think that would have been a Motown decision. I don't think it would have been the Boys' decision. Maybe it had to be edited to fit on one side of the tape as well.
No, that's exactly it. That's why Be Your Man, is not on the tape either. So like, it had to it was just too long of an album.
I can make that they probably thought we got a 5-minute instrumental. We're gonna have to whittle this down to an. I'd have done the same thing.
Tripping, no.
But now that you've answered it, Andrew, now you understand why I needed to get that out. You needed to let this out. You needed to heal from this. See, yes. Now you have healed. Now we can move on from it. Now you are.
Thank
free.
you.
You have exercised.
So much better.
That's it. But that's it, man. A shout out to Jussie there, Justin. How you doing, bro? Nice to see you. My number 3, again. Such a clean and measured production. I'm talking about the down tempo. I'm Yours. It's as if a scientist that understands maths completely and can create the formula that works perfectly. This is that song. That's how good this song is. That's my number 3.
Love it.
Okay, Steve.
I want to give a big shout to Marco. Actually, big shout to Marco who never minces his word, and he's come out with a podcast best this evening. He's given 0 out of 10 the album, 0 out of 10, and this is one of the sorriest albums y'all have reviewed. Thank you, sir, for that. I hope you've had a good week, sir. Anyway, my number, like I say, we take on all comments in, the good and the bad. Let's take them all. I'm going to go with, we've just been talking about it, Hack's House of Pleasure. I was just waiting for George Michael to come in. Where was
yes.
Where was George? with his white shirt on his white pants, just to give us a few. But yeah, you can see where that was inspired from. It's just it should have been on a smooth jazz album. That
yes,
it would have been a great smooth jazz. If Hakeem had made a smooth jazz album, but it's high up for me. It's in my top 3. It stands. It stood the test of time. Yeah. Sounds great now. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
sure does, man. All right, my number 3. It's funny. I was listening to this album randomly, like last fall, and it was around the time we were doing the Basic Black album, and I was like, "This sounds like anything that Teddy could have done on Basic Black," and that is "Thought You Knew." I was like, "This song is a hidden gem," and that one should have been a single. And even on Apple Music, they'll have little dots next to the songs that are picked as like kind of like highlights. And that one and another one has a little dot next to it. And Thought You Knew has it. That song is straight up New Jack Swing, number 3. It's the best up tempo on the album, in my opinion. I love it. Totally underrated, and more people here need to hear that song. I think it's one of the last gasps of like proper, in my opinion, like New Jack Swing, like from that era, of before it became more hip hop soul. Love it. That's
Yeah,
it.
there's a part of this song where he sounds like Bobby reaching, yeah, yeah, definitely proper New Jack. I think one that's my number two is Close to It, and it reminds me of a song that I would have heard on Basic Black. And I always remember D. Levant when he was talking about when they were doing the remix to Poison. Stevie, do you remember what he did? What not Joe Busby? I can't remember. Lou, what Lou said that woof, we had to do the barking. But Be Your Man. I love the track. I love the grown men singing the chorus at the back, and then the will it be your man? Woof. So when I was listening to that, I'm thinking, I remember Dylan Vant and the barking and the bass in black in half their songs is like woof woof and stuff like that. So it almost feels as though that was a trend. Like, yeah, we need some barking in the
Yes.
song. But I just love the
Nice.
I love the production on that. So Be Your Man is the number two for me.
Nice.
Very nice. My number two, unlike Andrew, I had the full version of this particular song. Sorry,
Nice.
I had Hack's House of Pleasure is at number two for me. This is just one of those songs which chugs along at the perfect pace. It just has that something about it. This is another showcase piece for the wildly underrated Hakeem Abdulsamad, because the production is just too good, man, on this. And as I've said it already, we need to say this man's name so much more. The sax reminds me of Careless Whisper by George Michael, which has been mentioned already. And Stevie's right. We were expecting a man with white pants and white shirt coming out sometime soon. Didn't happen, but that's my number two. Fantastic, fantastic song. Hack's House of Pleasure.
Stevie.
What have I got number two? Just let me list up here. Oh yeah. Again, this is over the last few weeks I've been listening to this album. This again really stands out to me. Very mature sound from the ballad "I'm Yours." Really strong track. Wow. I debated putting it number one. I really did, because it really is it's one of the standout tracks of the album.
So good.
It is. So really debated putting that at number one.
Okay.
Andrew. All right. So I remember hearing this song the first time and hearing the kind of jungle, like, anyway, it was like animal sounds. And then all of a sudden, the animal sounds kind of come in with the music. And then it's just a perfect opening. This should have been a single. I had the video already done. They're absolutely jungle. I think what they needed to have happen, though, was it's really a duet, man. Shawnee's is all over that song. And not to mention, but whatever, when Sean Stockman had Shawnee's on the note, he said, because he was label mates with them, I loved what you did on that Boys album, Happiness, because she's literally singing verses back to them. And then at the end, there's a high note she does at the end. I would never love another. I mean, it's just we were meant to love each other. We have happiness. I mean, it's just, man, that song sound. And when we're making love, girl, at least I have Kyrie saying that. Ooh, it rocks my world. My face is turning colors, baby, like the swings and fall. Hey, DJ or TJ. And then Taj comes in with that. Boom. Forever, my girl. Then boom, it will never die. We have happiness. I mean, that song is perfection. So in case you can't tell from that rant, Happiness is at number 2 on this album that I rate very highly. I'm saving the number for later.
Great song.
Yeah, I actually like the little rap at the end as well.
Yeah,
the Baby B's rap in it. I didn't realize Shanice was singing on that.
Oh, and Namdi, before you say your list, I was just going to say, I just wanted to say to Marco again, I really like Hack's House of Pleasure. I just wanted, just in case you missed it when I explained it just now, I like it. So I just wanted to share that with you.
I think Marco said that they're in Mortal Kombat. He said the album is Sub-Zero, right? Isn't that Mortal Kombat?
No, it's good. I just didn't want Marco to miss how much I like House of Pleasure. It's
yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go from 10 down to 1. And I had Doing It With the B at number 10. You Got Me Crying at number 9. Happiness at number 8. Freak of the Week at number 7. Thought You Knew at number 6. Funny 92 at 5. I'm Yours at number 4. Hack's House of Pleasure at number 3. Be Your Man at number 2. And I just love my number 1 here. I love the title track. The
Nice!
Saga Continues. I just love the whole vibe. I love the whole vibe of the song. Yeah, I mean, then watching the video later on, I'm like, oh man, it might seem as though I just love the whole thing. It was just like, yeah, it was my favorite. No matter how many times I listened to the album, it always came back to the Saga Continues.
wow.
It's just fun. It's just
You wouldn't believe the we've been through. Your face is rather bumping. Oh, no, your race is rather bumping. Your biker shorts are thumping. The saga must continue. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I loved everything about it. It was definitely the standout track. I mean, as I said, the album, and I listened to it without realizing who did the production, but yeah, the whole album. But that was my track there.
Wow, that's great,
track.
man. That's great.
Okay.
So, Andrew, there was somebody that liked the Saga Continues more than you, man.
No, that's why I reacted so big. Because y'all was like, yeah, Saga Continue, number 10.
That's my joint. That was my joint. Yeah,
love it.
And it started the album, so I was like, okay, these guys, yeah.
Oh, and it's synthetic substitution. Thank you. It's that drum beat that I love so much. Really big around that time. All right, so I remember now. Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
So before I say my top 10s, I'm going to mention my 12 and 11 only because there's so much. There were a lot of samples used there. I'll just give you some information on that. My number 12 was You Got Me Crying. It's a nice mid-tempo cut, very easy to listen to without the impact of something that might make your hot list. 5 samples. This one blows my mind. It samples Michael Jackson Thriller, 1982. How did they get the clearance for that? I don't know. Melvin Bliss, Synthetic Substitution, 73 is also on this one. Sly and the Family Stone, You Caught Me Smiling from 71. The Incredible Rufus Thomas and Do the Funky Penguin Part 2 from 71, very nice. And James Brown's Funky Drummer Part 1 and 2 from 1970. My number 11 was Freak of the Week. Had Chicago Gangsters, Gangster Boogie from 75. The Honey Drippers, Impeach the President from 73. Mountain Long Road from 72. That guitar slaps so hard on this track. And it's the theme throughout that carries it. And I can't explain that. That guitar, man, that bass guitar just sounds, it's stanky, man. I love it. That's my number. That was my number 11. Number 10 was Apple Juice. Number 9 was Be Your Man. Number 8 was The Saga Continues. Number 7, incredible song Happiness. Number 6 was Tonight. Number 5, Doing It With the B. Number 4, Funny 92. Number 3, I'm Yours. Number 2, Hack's House of Pleasure. That can only leave one song. Incredible from start to finish. This definitely should have been a single. New Jack synth and percussion. This, for me, is the pinnacle of the production on this album. There are large parts of this song that sound like, seem to have influenced the wonderful Dallas Austin production, Here With Me by Philip Bailey, the original and the remix. It sounds like a precursor also to Justin Timberlake's I'm Loving It. McDonald's, if you know that, if you know the Here With Me, you know McDonald's I'm Loving It, that track. This is the one I'm talking about. Thought You Knew, my number 1 all day, every day. There's not a better song on this album. There just isn't. There is not a better song than that. I'll leave it at that, number 1.
What a real man should do. I thought you knew. I actually thought it was like called "What a Real Man Should Do." Like, because I mean, but I thought you knew. It was even like I love the message too. Like, man, step up and do. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just there's nothing. That song is the shit. So thank you for like, you know, that's what's up. All right.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
You got it.
Go, Stevie.
Number 12, I had Freak of the Week. I didn't like that at all. Number 11, I had Apple Juice. Number 10, Doing It With the Bee. Number 9, The Saga Continues. Preferred the remix to the album mix. Number 8, Be Your Man. Number 7, You Got Me Crying. Number 6, Tonight. Number 5, Funny 92. Number 4, Thought You Knew. Could have been higher on another day. Number 3, Hack's House of Pleasure. Number 2, I'm Yours. And my number 1 is a song that this represents Motown Records as you know, it really does represent the label. And I cannot believe they missed a trick here. They only put officially 2 singles out. You know, Motown had a huge worldwide hit in 1990 with Shanice, I Love Your Smile.
Yes.
So we've got a record here that just could have been an international hit.
Yeah.
With Shanice on it. What are you doing, Motown?
What are you doing?
The best. It's by far the best track on the album, bar none. And you know which one I'm talking about. When I give VJ, I nearly give him a red card. Happiness is easily my number 1 and like the most outstanding track. Yeah. One of the best tracks I've ever done, to be quite honest.
It's a great song.
Yes. It's a crime it was not released as a single.
Unbelievable. You know, Universal Music now, get that out on a 7-inch. Put it out on a 7, press it up as a 7. Watch that. Watch that fly.
Had they even said The Boys featuring Shanice? Boom.
Yeah, done. Exactly. It's Motown. That's just Motown all over that.
That's it. I remember now. Yearning for Your Love. It gives you the vibe of
it's laid back.
Yearning for Your Love. Yeah.
And man, Stevie
has come for
so far. You guys are 3 for 3. You're 3 for 3 for picking my favorite songs as your number 1. So I'm happy as a pig in the what pigs like being in. Anyway, all right. So I think the number 12 was Spite. It was kind of unfair. I'm just mad because I didn't grow up with it. So, anyways, you guys already know. So my number 12 is Be Yo Man, but I think that was a little biased. Number 11, Doing It With the Bee. And by the way, my top 12 is still like, these are all bangers to me. I wouldn't skip any of them. Number 10, You Got Me Crying. Number 9, Apple Juice. Number 8, Freak of the Week. Number 7, Funny 92. Number 6, Hawk's House of Pleasure. Number 5, Tonight. Number 4, The Saga Must Continue. Number 3, Thought You Knew. Number 2, Happiness. And then I have a special story to share about number 1. The day I proposed to Saloni, there were 2 songs I was playing in the morning as I got ready to go. The first one was the remix to I Will Always Love You by Troop, because the lyrics say about, you know, with this ring, I pledge I will be the best. I will be the very best. I will always love you. And the other song that I played that day, just getting my mind ready to do the proposal. And I love this song so much because this song has not 1, but 2 choruses or 2 hooks. And it was the most New Edition-y song that the Boys ever did. So if I mess this up, this sucks because I've waited my whole life for this moment to give homage and pleasure. But I'm going to take it down a few keys because I don't want to mess it up. I really had to tell you, baby, this what has come over me. You open up my eyes completely. Now I can see that I will always love you. First hook. I will always care for you, baby. I will always love you. Ralph Dressman. And it feels so good to know. Hook 2. You're mine. And I'm yours. And then Ralph. Because I'm giving you this ring. And all the joy it brings. You're mine. Tosh. Tonight's the night. I'm yours. Tonight's the night. Oh, sometimes things get crazy. You'll always be my lady. One more time. You're all I want. And now I realize, and it brings a joyful tear to my eyes. Teardrops fall. I mean, this song is perfectly put together. And it feels so good to know. I mean, come on. We got chills. All right. Thank you. I waited my whole life to do that.
That's one of your best performances.
Taj, if you guys are listening,
One of your
I'm like the
best
fifth member of the Boys. No, that
Nice,
song
man.
is my favorite. My favorite. Thank you guys.
Wow.
Wow.
Goodness. You know, and as I said, Taj came on. I'm sure Hakeem and Bilal are watching as well. So they will all see this. So we definitely appreciate that. Well done. Okay. VJ, did you get a list?
Yes, I did. Shout out to everybody that's helped with the lists, sending in lists this week. Quite a few names. I'm just going to shout out one particular person who I think is going through some stuff at the moment, and that's Brandon. So shout out to you, man. Thank you for your list, and everybody else as well. But this is a combined list. So this is from everybody that submitted them. So this is the final list. Yeah. So number 12. Stevie will be happy. Freak of the Week makes it to number 12. Number 11 is Be Your Man. Number 10, Apple Juice. Number 9, You Got Me Crying. Number 8, Doing It With the Bee. Number 7, Tonight. Number 6, Happiness. Number 5, I'm Yours. Number 4, Funny 92. Number 3, Hacks House of Pleasure.
Okay.
Number 2, The Saga Continues.
Wow.
And number 1, Thought You Knew.
Wow.
Winner of the podcast is PJ.
DJ wins today.
DJ wins the podcast this week.
Yeah, very rare for me to win the podcast, but I have this week.
Fair play to you. Namdi, what out of 10, what do you rate the album?
I'll give it about an 8.5.
Wow. VJ, what do you rate the album?
7.5 for me. Very, very solid album.
Andrew?
I'm going to answer quickly, really quick. Solid 9. And I was actually comparing it to like, what would I give a 10, right? Thriller, I give a 10. Then I was like, wait, so you're going to put this on the same scale as Off the Wall? I mean, really, Andrew? Like, really? And I said, okay, fine. Off the Wall is a 9.5. But this is a solid 9 for me. Solid.
I'm normally very, very generous with ratings, but I'm with Marco on this. I'm not quite 4 out of 10, but I can see where he's coming from. The most generous I can be is 5 out of 10.
Whoa!
I'm trying so hard. But the songs, there's a couple of really good songs on here, and that's about it. But the production's right up there. It's 8, 9, 10. But song-wise, there's only a couple of really good songs on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's all good.
I'm sorry. I'm just, I'm trying.
Nah.
I'm trying.
Remember when I gave Provocative like a 3?
Yeah.
Like out of 5?
First time I've actually rated an album pretty, low. Well, it's 5, average, isn't it? 5 out of 10. It's an average rating.
Okay. Well, I mean, definitely, we want to thank Hakeem for answering those questions. But also, we have to give a shout out to Taj, who joined us live. For anyone who didn't, who came in late, Taj joined us for about half an hour, talking through the album, talking through the experience, and talking through where he and his brothers are at and what they've been up to. It's an immense privilege that they joined in, and definitely appreciate them as a collective. I mean, for them they put in music, they understood the business, and they moved on, and they took time to come on tonight. So we have to appreciate them for that. Guys, this is it's been a different episode because we normally would take most of our time We normally would take most of our time to talk through the albums, but because we had two of the members of the Boys on, we didn't have the opportunity. So, for those who can join us on Wednesday, the celebration of versus Donnell Jones versus Joe, and we will also then think about what we're after that when we're back in again. So, for everybody, we appreciate you and thank you, and catch us this Wednesday or next time. Take care.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
Somewhere in between.
Or even loving us, on which I didn't miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for me, but just for me,
No. Okay.
They don't understand what Jonas Boys winning all spirits.
Play it.